Hey everybody, welcome to a little piece of my office. This is where I do a lot of my reading. And today I'm going to talk about my in-home fitness experience. And so what a client of mine would expect from me, from start to end during a training session. And so my client's privacy is really, really big to me. And so like your health yourself, it is very private. And so today I'm going to talk about that in my reading chair. And so let's get started. So in-home fitness training is different. There's no specific location where we do it, meaning that like a gym, you would go to a specific location being that gym. For in-home training, it starts with driving. Me for instance. So you as a client would stay home as I would drive out to your location. And for me, I drive within about a 30-mile, 40-mile radius, and so I keep it relatively close to my home just so I can accommodate jumping between client and client, as well as me getting to that first session on time. So it starts off with that drive. I show up at a session. The first kind of things that we do is we get the music going. You kind of set the mood. I have some kind of parameters around the kind of music. It should be kind of upbeat, something that should give you energy. For the most part, I control the music, but if you have music, I'll let you play music. But if it becomes a problem, meaning that between every exercise, you have to go to your phone and choose the next song or skip between ads, then that is a problem because it's taking away from your training time. So after we kind of set the mood, we would do a dynamic warm-up. So basically a whole different kind of exercises that is going to be like your bread and butter, your meat and potatoes, your routine that is going to be like ingrained in your mind. So like no matter if I'm with you or if you're by yourself, on vacation with the family or for work and away from, that setting, you're able to be like, hey, I need to do this dynamic warm-up before you go and do your activity or throughout your day. And so that we're going to do a dynamic warm-up, and then after that, depending on how your previous day went, everybody has you slept on the wrong side of the bed, you tweaked your back, your knee, your hip, something that happened between the last training session that's bothering you. We would do a different kind of exercise to help warm that up. We don't do static stretching beforehand. It's all dynamic with movement, typically body weight. From there, the session basically starts. Yeah, we started already, but meaning that, your main sets, in fitness, we call them main sets. And that could be, strength-based exercises, body weight. It could be with weights. Also remember, a lot of I bring equipment with, I use bands, TRX, kettlebells, resistance bands, and if you have equipment, that's very beneficial because it's hard for an in-home personal trainer to lug a whole bunch of heavy weights around to your place. And so a lot of my clients, for instance, have home gyms at their place that we can utilize to accommodate different kind of exercises and routines and continue to play off that from month to month to month through different progressions. And so we'll do strength-based exercises, like I said. And if possible, I try to get my clients outside, meaning that we're going to do some sort of cardio. And yes, if we're doing cardio, it's most often going to be running. Running is the easiest to kind of jump into. You just need a pair of shoes and a space to do it in. Now it is jumping in a fall, so it's a little bit darker in the morning, so it's a little bit harder to safely get outside depending on where you live. If you're close to a busy road without a vest, it's kind of hanky to try out, but a lot of the cardio sessions that we do are strength-based. Just because with the allotted time frame, it's really hard to fit a good endurance workout with a dynamic warm-up, and do some specialty warm-ups as well with that. And so, within that allotted hour period of time to do an endurance workout. So a lot of it is time-driven, interval training, high-intensity interval training. and it's for a very like shorter period of time, anywhere between like a half hour run, maybe 40 minutes. And if you're like more of like the high intensity, we're doing more weights, strength based exercises, we're probably only going to be on the treadmill or outside for that 20 minutes. And so if you have like a stationary bike or like an elliptical, those can be utilized as well to kind of help maximize, that cardio part of your routine. And if you're somebody that's just looking for, strength base, and that's fine. I'm a big component or a big advocate for people to get moving, especially in the morning, including some sort of cardio, because it's going to get your body and blood pumping throughout your entire body rather than just doing, compound movements or, just simple bicep curls or tricep extensions. If you're which most of my clients are desk sitters at work, and so I think that they should get majority of their steps in within their workout. And so if they're only getting 3,000-4,000 steps a day, we need to get 3,000-4,000 steps during your workout, just so you can get that amount of steps in per day, just so you remain healthy and your bones are nice and strong for getting that impact in, and it just leads to less likelihood of like osteoporosis in the future. Longevity just really boosts and increases, your metabolism increases the more you move. So yes, strength-based exercises are really important. Strength on the cardio equipment or just outside is really important, and you can do all this stuff within an hour. And so those are the kind of the meat and potatoes of, a workout session. And after our session is over, clients are beat, they're typically, their water's all gone that they bring in the water bottle, they're pretty depleted. And so that's when I do more of a physical, assisted stretching. So, depending on where we're at, if there's an option to lay on the ground, I'll do, your hips, your hamstrings, your quads, all this dynamically through time. And so basically my clients just lay there for the most part, sometimes stand depending if we don't have that place to, lay down, but I'll stretch them out. And so they just have to sit there and breathe, and we kind of manipulate, different amounts of pressure for certain periods of time, and then we just get a deeper stretch. And we always want to get that stretch after a workout, just so we're preventing injury before we do our next workout or, the next day, and they're feeling good but when they go to work, or whatever they have going on after our session. After dynamic stretching is over, we kind of hit some, specific joint stuff, wherever you're feeling more tight during that workout. And so we'll do like blood flow stuff. So I'll use like my percussive gun, and I'll use like a roller as well. And we'll just do some like flossing movements. We'll do some, specific stuff with the percussive device, depending on where you're at, shoulders, hips, knees, ankles, calves, that kind of stuff. And that kind of helps wind down the session. And then we kind of talk about how everything went, like mental barriers, physical barriers. And so during our sessions, I don't talk a lot. And so a lot of growth comes physically as well as mentally, meaning that you are in your mind thinking about stuff that you need to, push past. And so a lot of our talking is done at the end and at the beginning. And so during your dynamic warm-up, I'm going to go through like a health recall, like how'd you sleep, what'd you eat yesterday, what'd you have for lunch, how many steps you get yesterday, how you feeling, are you pooping regularly? Those are really important stuff just for like daily lifestyle habits, and just having that recall of going over that with somebody is going to have huge positive benefits, because if you ate like crap yesterday and you're going to have to tell me that you ate like crap, you're going to feel either bad about it, or we're going to talk about ways that you can improve, eating habits for that long term. And so you're going to feel better by making those healthier habits down the road, and by basically, deleting that option of repeating that bad behavior again. And so that's basically the talking points, at the end, how everything went, at the beginning, what were you before it, and then And then that is basically within our hour session. I've had some sessions that are 90 minutes. And for clothing attire, if you're still in this video right now and you're like, Elliot, what the heck are you wearing right now? And I have clothes on, don't worry. I have my running shorts on. They're 1.5 inch New Balance running shorts. And then my top. And sometimes, you know, for that client experience, I really try to keep it equal, meaning that for my early clients, if you're just rolling out of bed, you don't want to be presented by somebody who's just like, you know, super dressed up and super professional. While I keep it super professional still, you know, sometimes I don't even do my hair. I'll wear a hat, or sometimes I don't even do my hair, because most often my clients will come to their gym or their garage or their workout room and they'll see me and their hair's doing this. And that's totally okay, because that's real life. And so I'll wear, like, you know, workout gear, most often sweatshirts, you know, long sleeve tees, you know, athletic wear for the most part. I wear a lot of running shorts, because if we do go running outside, that is something that I do with clients. And so, so I'm always prepared to do that, you know, giving any part time of the day. And so it just kind of becomes in my routine of, you know, my professionalism and how I carry that over with clients. So that is kind of the client experience, you know, from start to end, from getting the music, dynamic warm-up, doing the recall as you're dynamically warming up, you know, the specific warm-ups, you're doing your strength-based exercises either with weights, body weights, you're doing cardio either on like the road on the running, or you're doing cardio on the treadmill, the elliptical, the stationary bike. And then we kind of do that, you know, assisted stretching, and the more specific with like my percussive gun afterwards. And then I leave. And so then you are off to do your, you know, your shower, get ready for work, brush your teeth, you know, eat breakfast, and then go about your day. And that is basically my client experience. And so thank you for watching this. And I hope that that helps put in mind what to expect for an in-home fitness or personal training session.